Welcome back, real nerds. It's time for some real talk. This is your host for today's episode of Scooter's Take. And every episode of Scooter's Take, it's Scooter Scott, a.k.a. something else. I couldn't think of something funny to say today for that, actually. And, it's never really funny, but it's a little weird. I'm by myself in here, so it's like talking to it. No, that's okay. Anyways, today's episode of Scooter's Take was a little late today. We had some issues with our internet service provider. Thank you, Comcast, for being there for us always. That's sarcasm. That was sarcasm. Yeah, been here about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and the internet already went dead. My sister just showed up, and now she's going to walk up the stairs. So hopefully she doesn't, run through the wall. But whatever, we might see her. Hey. But today's episode of Scooter's Take, like every other episode of Scooter's Take, is a half an hour episode, give or take a couple minutes, of the daily nerd news you need to know about. News I like to call nerdly news. So here to give you the nerdly news of the day is me. Hi, Annie. My sister's here. Don't go in front of the camera. There you go. Thanks for the packages. What did I get? They can't see you, don't worry. I actually don't know what this is. And I wasn't actually expecting any packages, so I don't know what these are. Okay. Sure. Well, that was fun. Anyways, to the actual news. So today's episode, like I said, is a little late, but funny enough, it kind of keeps in with what Scooter's Take is going to be starting Monday, August 21st. Our Scooter's Take will be moved to 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday. We're getting rid of the Friday episodes due to my schedule and everything else. So make sure you guys check out the new schedule down below on the Twitch channel in the tabs or wherever it is on your phone. It should be like the little I for information icon, whatever. Make sure you guys check out the new schedule so you guys become accustomed to what's coming up because it's going to be shifting slightly. All the shows have remained for the most part, except for a couple. We're also adding a new show, and we're restructuring some other things. But for the most part, the schedule is about the same, give or take. But getting into the nerd news of the day, we got some pretty cool stuff today, I'd like to say at least. So I want to start off a little light, get a little heavy, lighten it back up again, whatever, the weird flow of Scooter's Take. So I've been really interested in this game for a while. And I've been talking about it here on the show, like pretty much every day, because they always have some kind of news out. And I already said I was going to play it when it came out on Xbox One, which now I cannot wait for, because the more I read about this game, the more I see videos about it, the more I see, just in general, it looks very, very fun. So PUBG, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, is now at a astonishing 7 million copies sold. 7 million copies. This game is a couple months old. That's all I'm saying. Oh my gosh. It beat League of Legends last week on Twitch for viewers. It beat League of Legends. League of Legends, I'm saying, like, if you've been on Twitch or if you know anything about Twitch, you always see League of Legends at the top of the stream list. That's all I'm saying. That's a pretty big deal. So, next out on the Switch news, some reports out of Japan showing Switch units that are becoming distorted. So like Bendgate. So this isn't new. So this is actually something that I always hate talking negatively about the Switch, but I'm not gonna. This is something that I have a Switch, so I want to know about this. So, and people that are potentially trying to buy one or whatever, you should know that there's always a chance of something happening. So some reports out of Japan, and they're actually on like Reddit and everything, where the Switch is actually kind of bowing, kind of like when the iPhone bowed and everything like that. So we have a new Switch Bendgate on our hands. Now, Switch or Nintendo hasn't come out and said anything about this directly, about this specific event, and we also don't know if this is just an isolated thing where it's like a couple Switches, because if you make 1 million of anything, you're gonna have whatever, like a 2%. I'm speaking out my butt here when I say 2%, but you're gonna have percentages that aren't gonna be 100% correctly working. So it's always a chance you kind of run into with manufacturing. But next thing up for Switch is. So I always tell people when the Switch is in stock, or at least I try to if I can get the information. So today, if you didn't know, Amazon, I hope it's still live. I put it up on Facebook on Real Nerds Real Talk's Facebook page about an hour and a half ago. But Amazon has the Switch in stock, the gray Joy-Con version, not the blue-red neon version, but the gray only, for $299.99, which is retail price, which is it's good. So if it's still up, go to check out Amazon.com. Make sure when you're on it, because if you show up the neon blue and red one, it'll show you a different price because it's not an Amazon fulfillment one or an Amazon sold one. So it's actually like a hiked up price. But if you switch it over to gray, it'll go down to $299 and show you that it's being sold by Amazon. So if you're looking for a Switch, there you go. Also, another thing out where it's like apparently in the U.S. at least there's like this weird shortages of Switches, like, which I always thought there was a shortage of Switches, but as soon as I came back to New Jersey, 3 months ago, I've been like, I'll be at the store, I'll be like Best Buy or GameStop, whatever, and usually it's Best Buy, but they'll have Switches in stock on the shelf, and I'll tell my friends and everything and put it on the internet, but apparently in other places, other states and everything, like there's just straight up shortages, like no Switches ever. So I'm saying, like, if you have a friend who lives somewhere else who's looking for one, so if you see one here in New Jersey or whatever, if you're in a place where they're in abundance of, buy it for him, buy it for her, and then just send it to them. So, charge them like $20. Do a friend a favor, get the Switch out there. More Switches, more games. That's all I'm saying. All right, next up for Switch news, Pokemon Switch game. So we all know that the Pokemon Company, Game Freak, and Nintendo, they all have their heads together for a new Pokemon RPG game coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now this is a big deal if you didn't know, because Pokemon has never been on a home console. It's always been on a mobile device like a Game Boy. So, and we're not talking about like Pokemon Tournament or Pokken Tournament or Pokemon Stadium like on the N64 or the Wii U. Those aren't RPG games. That's not Pokemon RPG. We're talking about a strict, like, literally playing like Pokemon, Silver on your Switch. And so you can play it on the television. So this is a big deal, and I think it's finally available, or we're finally at that point where we can do it, like where Game Freak feels comfortable because they like that mobility access to the game. So now that the Switch is out and it's a a hybrid system between being a stay-at-home console and a mobile console. So, God, I can't wait. I think it's like 2018 or 2019. I think they're shooting for 2018, but it's probably gonna come out 2019, because the next thing I'm gonna talk to you about is how much pressure the developers are under. You got to realize this is the first. So we've been asking for an RPG game for Pokemon on a home console for I don't know how long, and this is such a high expectation from players and fans alike that the developers, and I think this is going to tie into how long this game actually takes, since the expectation is so high. They don't want to mess it up, especially being this is the first Pokemon game to come to a home console. They have to make sure they do it right. And one of the things they're doing is they're trying to figure out how people will actually play the Switch. So the console's only been out for it's August now, so March, April, May, June, July, August. It's been almost 6 months, or it has been 6 months, somewhere around there, right? There's not enough data, I don't think, at this time to say, especially since there's not enough Switches out there. Like, there's still people who want Switches that cannot get their hands on them. So that shows that we still need to wait a little bit just to see how people primarily play the Switch. Do people primarily enjoy playing it in docked mode? Do they prefer playing it in tabletop mode, which would be weird, or in handheld mode? So I know there's a lot of people that like playing in handheld mode mostly, and then also play on their home console. Like, personally, I started playing the Switch mostly handheld, and since moving into this place, have moved to a more home console type, mostly because of the streaming, and because I don't need since I work in my house, in my studio or whatever, I really don't need to go anywhere else. So when I leave the house, it's usually for a purpose, like I need to go buy this, or I need to go to the grocery store. So I'm not really out and about doing things as I would if I was like traveling to work, stuff like that. But like I said, Switch is available on Amazon.com. Maybe lower your expectations for Pokemon, because you might be disappointed. I sure as hell won't, but I'm just putting that advice out there. I don't take my advice most of the time, so there you go. But next up on the news, we're going to go into Call of Duty World War II. So the public beta is coming up in about a week. I think it's like 8 days, something like that. It starts on the 25th of August. Now, this World War II, or Call of Duty World War II beta is going to be a private beta to PS4 only. So since Call of Duty is a PS4 or Sony exclusive, and I say exclusive in the same sense that Destiny is an exclusive, basically just means that Sony gets the stuff quicker, faster, but Xbox will still get the same stuff, just at a later date. But yeah, August 25th to 28th, PlayStation 4 is getting its personal, own treatment for those 3 days. There's going to be 3 new maps. There's going to be a mode called Operation Breakout, which is like a big war version of like Axis versus Allies in the World War II area. I can't remember the exact battle area they're doing it, but that just sounds cool as hell. Like to have. Excuse me. I know it sounds like Battlefield-esque, which, I mean, we kind of all saw this coming, Battlefield-esque kind of gameplay, but I think they're going to do something. I think they're going to do it differently. or at least I hope they do. But that's going to be available on the beta for, it's going to be on both betas. So everything I'm saying is going to be available on both betas. It's just that the other beta includes PS4 and Xbox. And the PS4 and Xbox One beta for Call of Duty World War II will be from September 1st to September 4th. So if you have a PS4 and you pre-ordered it and you got your beta code and everything like that, did all the whole stuff, you'll be able to play twice, or for 2 segments from the 25th to the 28th of August, and then again from the 1st of September to the 4th of September, which is great because it's right before school. So everybody who's like, all you teenagers or whatever that play Call of Duty, the ones that always end up yelling at me, you'll be able to play before school starts. At least get in some hardcore playing. One bad thing, or 2 bad things that is not going to be in the beta is there's no headquarters. So that area I talked about before, where it's kind of like you're like in Destiny, it was like the tower. So your multiplayer kind of area. There's going to be no headquarters available and no loot system available. And there's going to be restrictions on some of the other stuff too. But it's coming. You'll be able to play it. Hopefully we'll be able to play it too. So look out for that. So that's going to be it for that part of the news. Now we're going to get into some more stuff. And we're going to start off with some Marvel news. Because we have the Defenders coming out soon, and as well as the new game, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Now, this game, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, can't even speak today, looks amazing. So you have your Marvel characters, you have your Capcom characters, but you kind of like the story mode kind of goes like with the whole Ultron and Thanos kind of thing. Like it's just like you got to go on YouTube, watch the Infinite or Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite video game trailer for the story mode and also for like just the regular game in general. It's obviously a Marvel vs. Capcom. It's a Capcom fighting game, so it's going to be that side-scrolling, more or less, the side-scrolling fighting, like old Mortal Kombat, stuff like that. Well, I guess you could say today's Mortal Kombat too. So it's not like Dragon Ball Z. God, I can't remember the name. Balls. Anyways, you know what I mean. It's not like the 3D open world like movement. It's you have your 3D characters and the graphics look great. It's going to be that old school style game, which I'm really excited about. It looks really, really fun. The art style looks really cool. Mega Man's in it, which, love Mega Man. So go check that out. Thanos looks dope as hell. Just the action, like the moves and everything, like the Infinity Stones are involved, and I love the Infinity Stones, like the arc of that story. So it's gonna look awesome. But next up, we have some more Marvel information. Let me make sure I can find it before I just start talking out my butt. But it's basically so the Defenders is coming out on Netflix coming up here soon. Here it is, Netflix. So I save all my news on my computer. I'll forget. So I just like read everything, make sure I got it, yeah. And then I come back to it, I'm like, okay, yeah. But anyways, Netflix's new Defender series. So this is a plethora of shows. So you have Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. Those 4 characters are going to be in the Defenders. So if you've read the Defenders comic books or whatever, you're going to know that the way that Netflix is making the show with Marvel isn't the same as the comics. So in the comics, they were kind of like this weird group of friends, or not even friends. They hate each other. Like the Defenders don't enjoy each other's company at all. Like in the comics. So they're definitely, and it's more like they were like fighting like goblins and trolls and stuff. So like I wouldn't say B, C list heroes, but that's basically what they are. So and the Hulk was even involved at some points, and Marvel's version of Aquaman. So. But yeah, they don't really like each other, and in this one, obviously they're probably gonna have their problems with each other. But you always have that internal conflict, blah 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 blah. Keep the plot rolling, whatever. But it's not gonna be as much, and they're not really gonna be fighting. I don't think they're gonna be fighting trolls. There hasn't been any kind of inkling to show that Netflix or Marvel, whoever who's ever directly making the show, is saying, oh yeah, we're gonna be doing it like the comic book. So I think we're gonna see the same theme of what we've been seeing in those 4 shows. Dealing with the Hand, and it's just gonna be the Hand. I'm telling you, money's all over that. It's just gonna be about the Hand. You're gonna have those few episodes where they're not really doing anything about the Hand, just to get like the topic off for a little bit, especially in the beginning, I think. But yeah, they're gonna move to the Hand. So check that out. If you've never read the comics, the old comics, look at them. Everything's on the internet nowadays, so most of them you can even read it for free. coming to the new Dragon Ball Fighter Z game, we have 4 new characters that have been announced and confirmed: Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta, Android 16 and Android 18. Now these have all been announced for Bandai Namco's new game, Dragon Ball Fighter Z. This game looks like a lot of fun. I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, so I cannot wait for this. But I mean, I don't really like the name Super Saiyan Blue Goku. That's all I'm saying. Everything else is cool. Put them in the game. I love it. I just wish they wouldn't, like the Super Saiyan Blue, the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Red. You know, just pick a goddamn name that isn't like 8 words, and then make it that. Because you know, the Super Saiyan Blue Goku, you know, could be easily shrunken down to Blue Saiyan Goku. You know, or Blue Goku. Or something that's actually cool, not like fucking describing the color that they're fucking showing. That's all I'm saying. So, petition. Alright, so there's a new thing coming out. It's on Kickstarter. It's basically going to be bringing IMAX immersion style movie watching to your home. So think of like a VR headset with, instead of like it being attached to your head, because this would be way too heavy, just because of all the internals in it. There would be an arm, you know, an extendable arm where he basically just like shows up to your head and then encloses your eye holes, right? And then you wear like some really dope headphones so you can get that really cool like surround sound effect, you know, maybe some Bose or whatever. Definitely not some Beats, because Beats are garbage. Well, I mean, I guess maybe the bass. I don't know. Something. No, fuck Beats. But yeah, so this is gonna be a new thing. It's called Cinera. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. It's basically like cinema, but without the M, or without the M, it's an R. So Cinera. But you can experience IMAX like experiences, you know, experiences twice in the same sentence. Wow. But yeah, it's basically going to give you more involvement. And the thing is, it might be better because even when you're in a theater and you're watching IMAX or even a regular movie, and me and Bobby Law were talking about this the other day, you want to get enveloped in the film what you're watching. You know, you want to become part of it in a way. So IMAX definitely helps that and everything, but when you still have people next to you and everything, it kind of sometimes it can draw you out of that movie experience. So this would be a way more, you know, personal experience to watch these films, which I'm not against at all. I just hope it's not stupid expensive. But we do have some pricing here if you want to know. This is on Kickstarter. It's got an early bird price right now of $449, which is apparently going to be 42% off retail. So that means that basically this thing is going to be $1,000. So this includes your Cinera, so the headset, a charger, and the dentist-style arm that comes for the head mount. So the actual head mount itself is going to be $49 extra. So it looks like they're giving you the option to use a head mount instead of the mechanical arm. But personally, unless you really just don't want to have a mechanical arm in your house, but it's going to look dope, I mean, I would use that because your head's going to feel heavy, I feel. But it's really cool. Apparently, it's also part of Foxconn's Kick 2 Real Incubator, which I guess is just like their kind of like Kickstarter thing going over there. Speaking about Kickstarter, though, Kickstarter is coming to Japan. This is just some quick news that I've found. Kickstarter will be launching in Japan on September 13th. Make sure if you're in Japan, or if you're going to Japan, or if you want to start a company in Japan, whatever, Kickstarter is now available, or will be available to you starting September 13th, and that's only a couple weeks away. So look out for that. So we talked about this a couple days ago on Scooter's Take. I believe it was Monday or Tuesday. Basically, it's touching on the Charlottesville thing going on. But the news obviously keeps coming when it comes to that kind of stuff. It's kind of it's a big deal. But another company that's showing their I don't know, think of a word. But Apple Pay is going to be dropping support for websites that sell white supremacist merchandise. That's all it says, really. I mean, there's a huge article about it, but it's basically, you can pretty much, you can get from that. Apple is going to be looking into these companies that use Apple Pay. It's probably going to be a lot of like smaller companies, obviously, because they're not like a huge white supremacy. I mean, there might be. Who knows? Big white supremacist company? Who knows? But I'm not going to get into that. But it's probably going to be like these like T-shirt vendors at a very low level that use Apple Pay or something like that. That's what I'm guessing. Now, there probably is some huge business that has white supremacy just crapped all over it. Who knows? But Apple Pay is going to be, dropping support for those people if they can find them. So hats off to that. Love, not hate. That's what I say. Hashtag. Oh, burpee today. There's actually another company, and I'm trying to find it. Yes. No. Wrong one. No, that was it. Okay, now I was thinking about something else. Oh, but yeah, today's binge. Or Bing. So you know the Bing, Microsoft's version of Google, which I personally do not like at all. So Bing has their homepage today has a penis. Just putting that out there. Nothing wrong with a penis. It's a perfectly good anatomically thing, you know. It's a wing wang, but there's a penis. So if you go, I don't know. I haven't checked in a couple hours if this is still alive. But this is from The Verge. So The Verge has put this article up about this. So they might have already caught it and changed it. But it's basically I think it's like Florida, like maybe like the Keys or something. But it's basically this little island thing, and in the sand somebody drew a penis, and somebody decided to like expand it and like bring it in. Like, yep, that's a penis. So hats off to whoever did that. I hope you planned that because that's awesome. All right, so there's a new phone coming out on Sprint. I don't know if it's coming out to any other ones. This is new news for me. I actually did not know about this, and I'm usually pretty up to date when it comes to cell phone news because I'm a huge cell phone fanatic. You can ask anybody that knows me. But there's a new phone coming to Sprint. It's called Essential Phone. Pre-order is going to be coming out soon, and they're going to have a bit of a discount attached to them, which is more of like a Sprint tiny words, you know, small print kind of deal. But you still end up saving some money. Now, I don't know much about this phone, but I will be looking into it. I'm guessing it's going to be like an Android-esque device, but it could have its own proprietary operating system. Who knows? But I'll look into it. Get back to you on that one. Now, speaking of cell phones, Comcast's Xfinity Mobile is now available in all the company's markets. So anywhere there's Comcast or Xfinity, whatever, you're now available to get Comcast's Xfinity Mobile, which is a new network in the cell phone business or cellular division of our world, I guess you could say. So I say new because Comcast has always owned towers, like cellular towers. It's just that they didn't use it for their own services. So now they're basically just like turning it on for themselves. So because they like rent out their towers to like AT&T, T-Mobile, whatever. Because all cell phone towers can be used by all cell phone providers for the most part. Just saying. It's a huge thing. Just look into cell phone theory. But anyways, Xfinity Mobile is out. I don't know how I feel about this. Honestly, Comcast is already such a big company. Why do you need... I mean, I get it, you know, expand and do other things. But what person in their right mind would really want to get Comcast's Xfinity cell phone service? Like, is it surprisingly cheaper than the other ones? No. Is it better service? No. It basically uses the same mantra of Google's Google Fi, I think it's called. So Google Fi, which I actually have a couple friends who use it. They don't have any issues with it. It's just that it's more of like a prepaid, like it's $10 a gig, and you get for like $25 or $35 a month, you get unlimited talk and text. So you're basically paying for your data, and then you get refunded. So like if say you buy a gig's worth of data for $10 and you use like 600 megs, so you have about 400 megs left, you'll get $4 refunded back to your account. So it's like you pay what you use kind of deal. You fill it and then you pay what you use, and then, but it's not like at the end of the month, if you didn't use the gig, you lose all of it. You know, you get your money back, which is cool. But for people like me who are heavy on the internet, downloading a lot of crap all the time, especially even when I'm out of the house off Wi-Fi, and I have the Comcast Wi-Fi thing, so like if I'm near a hotspot, it'll connect. And especially being back in New Jersey, they're everywhere. But at the same time, they're not very fast either. So that's all I'm saying. But they're going to use that kind of technology basically where like it shoulders some of the weight on local Wi-Fi hotspots, which Comcast has a plethora of, and then also using their towers. I don't see how it could really get that big, to be honest. But maybe they know something I don't. They're a big company. Speaking of cell phones again, though, iOS 11. So this is the new iOS coming out this fall. I have the beta on my phone right now. It's decent. I like it. It's a little... I mean, betas are always kind of clunky in the beginning, and we're still in the... I'd say we're about halfway through the beta stage for iOS 11. But apparently there's I haven't found this myself, but there's a cop button, quote unquote, to temporarily disable Touch ID on your iPhone. So the cop button as in like, nobody can get in. So it basically disables your Touch ID, allows you to use your passcode so you can contact emergency services by pressing the lock button. I think it is the lock button like 5 times, and it'll bring up the option to call 911. Emergency services. So, the Nintendo Switch is having a bundle come out in September. So it's a Splatoon 2 bundle. Now, this has only been available in Europe, I believe, and Japan until September, coming up here for the United States. But it comes with a neon green and neon like pink, purple, like pinkish Joy-Cons in the Splatoon S colors. You also get a digital copy of Splatoon 2 with that. It's so here. Wait, I'll just give you the list of stuff that comes with it because it's a little bit easier to read off. But so you get the digital copy, you get the new controllers instead of the gray ones. You also get a carrying case and the console. So this bundle will cost you $380, so $379.99. It will be exclusive to Walmart, and it's going to be available on September 8th. I haven't seen anything about pre-orders for this. There could be some pre-orders for this from Walmart, but it's about 3-4 weeks away. Almost, it's about 3 weeks away. So if you're looking for a Splatoon 2 version of the Switch, go ahead and check that out. $380. So if you think about it, the Switch system itself is $300. Splatoon 2 brand new is $60. So that's $360. So you have about $20 more to play with. But you're getting a carrying case, which my carrying case was $20, and it's probably around the same style case, like maker and everything. So I mean, you're not really getting gypped here. The only thing you're getting, and you're also getting the Splatoon colored controllers. So I mean, it's a good deal. I mean, a good deal in the sense that you're not losing money that you would have spent if you were to buy these things altogether anyways. That's my opinion. But I can't buy another Switch because my wife will kill me. But there's no end in sight when it comes to the Switch controllers coming out. It doesn't look like they're going to be coming out individually just yet to buy the Splatoon style ones. All right, so last article of the day we're going to be talking about, or last news we're going to talk about this. Facebook is going to be soon purging video clickbait from the newsfeed. So I don't know about you, but I hate clickbait. My videos are, I can't say they'll never be, because maybe one day I'll make a clickbait video. Not today. But my video titles never have clickbait titles on them. It's like the title of the episode and then the date. So I mean, we just keep it real here, because we're real nerds and we like to talk real with some real talk. So you gotta really fuck with those words to make them sound good. But hopefully this is true. Hopefully they do get rid of some bullshit on Facebook, because I like watching videos on Facebook. When I'm bored, I'll watch a video that's on my feed, and then I'll scroll after the video, scroll down and see what else is on there. And I could be on there for half an hour. So I mean, Facebook, you got something going. It's awesome. But get rid of the bull crap. That's all I'm saying. So this has been Thursday's episode of Scooter's Take here on 17 August 2017. I was your host today, Scooter Scott, the Scootster. I hope you guys had an enjoyable time. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. I hope you guys enjoyed the news today. We'll be back here again tonight for Friday morning's episode, I guess you could say, at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Nerds at Night with myself and Bobby Law. Make sure you guys tune in for that. We're having a great episode tonight. It's going to be about Pokemon, everything fucking Pokemon. So hopefully you come join us. We love Pokemon. This is going to be a great episode. We're going to get super smashed and just talk about Pokemon with y'all. Hopefully you guys can be there. Hopefully you guys can check it out. Talk to us, interact. It'll be fun. We'll have a huge conversation. So that, once again, that's tonight at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the next time I'll see you guys. This video will be up on YouTube later, so make sure if you guys are watching here on Twitch, you guys share this video with some other people. It'll be up there in probably a couple hours. I got to edit it and everything. Make sure you guys check out the teespring.com/RNRT page to go pick up some RNRT swag. We got t-shirts, sweaters, all that stuff. It helps support the channel, makes this place grow. Make sure you guys leave a follow here on Twitch or a like and a subscription over on YouTube. Go become a Patreon if you want to support us monthly, which we would definitely love for you guys to do. There's some cool incentives involved with that. And once again, I love you awesome nerds. Stay nerdy. Peace.